My name's Bradley Guys.
And my name is Adam Pringer.
And welcome to the Hot Swap. Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of the Hot Swap. In the beginning, we're going to get into all the games we've missed for the last, what's it been, 4 years since our last podcast, dude?
It's been way too long.
Yeah, I think you said May 2012.
Yeah, or about there.
Yeah, so we're pretty close. We're coming up on 4 years, so there's been a lot of games in between. I'm actually, I'm going to go second if that's cool with you, Adam. I'd like to hear what you've been getting into.
So I guess I'll just get right into this. So I'm going to list off the first four here. The first one is I'm just listing the Pushmo series as one set of games.
Okay.
It's not often anymore that I play through an entire game and do it quickly. But with every single one of those releases, I have knocked it out very quickly and thoroughly enjoyed every single one.
I agree. I didn't finish the second one yet, but I actually was looking, I have over 30 hours on the first one. I played a lot of that game.
Now, because I've gotten better at playing those games, my times have actually gone down since the first one.
Right.
But it's only because I'm so good at it now.
Adam, me and Adam still spoke, even though we didn't do podcasts for 4 years. That's one of the games we did used to talk about a lot on text, I remember, with Pushmo.
Yeah, it was. So if you haven't played any of those, Pushmo, Crashmo, Pushmo World, Stretchmo, then you definitely need to go do that.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
The next game I was going to mention is Shin Megami Tensei 4 for the 3DS. That was my game of the year in 2012.
Oh, cool.
I really liked that game. It was my first Shin Megami Tensei game that I actually played through and beat. And there are certainly things about it that I didn't like as much as other games, but overall I thought it was a really fantastic experience, and many Saturdays spending my entire day playing through that game. Did you play that at all, Brad?
No, I've never played a Shinigami Tensei. Sorry, I had to fix my headset there. I've never played a Shinigami game ever.
I'm
interested.
Not necessarily your type of game, so I'm not surprised, but I thought I'd give that an ask. The next game that I wanted to mention was Super Mario 3D World. I know we'd actually talked about that one together as well.
That's also on my list, so
awesome.
I'll let you take it.
Well, for me, I would have liked to have played more multiplayer, because I really didn't get to do any of that.
I did.
Okay, well then we can talk about that. But for me, I was going into it being excited because the trailers made it look really nice, but I wasn't expecting to like it nearly as much as the Galaxy series.
Mm-hmm.
But it really did surprise me at how well they took what they started in 3D Land and expanded it to really a full game that had a lot of variety and did a good job of balancing a 2D feel with a 3D game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I have not beaten the last level yet, though.
And I believe we talked. I'm pretty sure I texted you when I 5-starred, so I've beaten everything.
Yeah, so I still have that to do. And I wanted to mention Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, definitely.
That was one where I have a group of friends that would come over and game, and we consistently played that one. A lot of fun, great DLC, fantastic music, fantastic tracks. Very good game. It's probably my favorite
Eight's
Mario.
Wii U, right?
What?
8's the Wii U one, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so 3DS is 7.
Yes.
Okay, they're both great, by the way.
I've always had a special place in my heart for Double Dash, but I think this one actually beats it out just because it's got so much in it that you can do. It's unfortunate that the battles are something that I don't really mess with, just because they don't have very good battle stages. But the racing part of it is top notch. And the last game that I wanted to mention is Splatoon.
Oh,
which,
that's on my list too.
awesome. That is by far one of my favorite games to come out in the past couple years. It's really easy to get into. I've had plenty of non-gamer friends play the game and enjoy it.
Yep.
I've had plenty of what would be considered the hardcore gamer play it and really enjoy it. So it has a wide breadth of people that can enjoy that game, and it's a lot of fun. And even when I couldn't play it due to TV limitations, I was watching people play it, which is not something I normally do for games.
Yeah, I really liked it as well. 48 hours. I played a ton of it. I got pretty good too. I was consistently in the top 3 there for a while.
Nice.
I had to send it. I actually rented that one. I had to send it back to just get something else. So I plan on picking it up again. I actually, now that you mentioned Splatoon, I signed up for the My Nintendo Rewards program today, and they actually have a 30% Splatoon coupon.
That would be a good thing to do.
Yeah, I want to jump
Good.
all over that. So
Yeah.
it's cool.
I would like to play that with you.
Definitely, that would be awesome. I didn't know you were playing it, to be honest with you. I would have hit you up earlier.
Well, I'm sorry for that. Were you playing with the motion controls?
No, I was just using the Wii U pad.
Okay. I've got used to it. It works really well.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know it was an option. I would have tried it.
Okay. It has me hopeful for Star Fox.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for Star Fox. I'm sure we'll be bringing that up in future episodes. So,
So really, that's my list of 5 games that I wanted to go over.
okay. You want me to go ahead and jump into mine?
Sure.
All right, so I guess I just wanted to mention the ones that I played a ton of. So Monster Hunter Ultimate, I had almost 500 hours in that. I actually played more of that than I played of 4, which surprised me. But I'm excited for the new one, Generations. I'll probably put in another 500 on that. You mentioned Splatoon. I played almost 50 hours of that. And you mentioned Super Mario 3D World. I played 35 hours of that. So as far as Wii U goes, the 2 games I want to mention Guacamelee is a great downloadable game if you love action platformers.
I have that one as well.
And it's actually on my channel if anybody wants to see a preview of it, at Bradley Guys on YouTube. And the game I want to talk about Wii U-wise, though, is Super Mario Maker, which is probably my favorite Wii U game ever. I mean, I've played almost 200 hours of it, and it's just a level creation game, so
Yeah.
I think that's pretty impressive that I was able to get, and I'm still playing that game. I play it all the time.
How much time do you have on it?
175 hours.
Okay.
And I have tons of videos of that on my channel, too, if you guys want to see what that game looks like. A lot of that time's been spent playing your levels, which I like quite a bit. Your micro levels are definitely my favorites, though. I think you've really hit your stride with those micro levels.
I have some more coming.
Awesome. Can't wait. I'll make another video. But that's...
I just got another coin, so...
Oh, cool. Oh, another medal, right?
Yes.
Yeah, medal. So, I mean, I don't know. This seems like the game they should have made it for the Wii at a minimum. I mean, it just seems so obvious that Super Mario Maker is something they should have made a long time ago. And they probably have been fooling around with something like this for a while.
Yeah.
But the Wii U definitely brings it up to the next level with the gamepad. I mean, just being able to do all the stylus control. But to think about, the Wii had the DS connectivity. They could have did something like this before if they wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, not that they used it for much, but yes, I agree with you.
Just Pokemon, right?
Yeah, basically.
So, anyway, I just wanted to bring up, I love Super Mario Maker. It's one of my favorite games in a long time. It's probably easily in my top 5 all time. If we did another, list like we used to do, it would bump some games down because I really like it.
Okay. I would have put it on my list of games I wanted to mention, but I plan on talking about it in future episodes quite a bit.
Yeah, we'll definitely break it down.
I'm still playing it quite a bit.
Yeah, me too. So let me move on. Let me mention a few 3DS games, and then we could move on to the next segment here. Let's see. The oldest one I could find, and it was probably came out right as we ended, was Fire Emblem Awakening, which I put almost 80 hours into. I really like. Probably not as much as my wife likes it because she's obsessed with Fire Emblem, but I also enjoy it quite a bit. I don't know what to say about it besides the fact it's the best Fire Emblem I've ever played. I'm currently playing the new one, but Awakening's definitely the best one I've ever played. I love the team-up attacks. The graphics are great. All the levels are really fun and interesting. The characters are cool. You know me, I don't really care about story. My wife kind of tells me what's going on with the games because she pays attention, but I hear the story's good. I skip through all that stuff. For me, though, it's about pure gameplay. It's the best Fire Emblem. It looks the best, and it works the best, and it reinvigorated the series. I mean,
yeah.
I heard this was going to be the last one, and now we've got another one. So, and there's more coming, as far as I know.
Yeah, and you're no Fire Emblem slouch. You've played a lot of them.
I'm currently playing the GameCube one because I found my friend's copy who used to live here. I'm probably 3 or 4 hours into that, and I've played all the GBA ones, and I played Awakening a ton. So, and I tried the Wii one, I tried the 3DS one, but I didn't finish either of those.
Okay.
So I also want to mention Zelda: Link Between Worlds for the 3DS.
Okay.
Which I played through once and took me over 20 hours, and it's a handheld game. Right there, I just think you're getting a great value for your buck on that.
Yeah.
It was really fun. Yes, it's a little like Link to the Past. You can see they take some of the levels look a little similar, but there's so much new stuff in there. You almost forget that you're playing almost a remake of Link to the Past, in my opinion.
Okay. I feel like Nintendo does a lot of remakes that have actually a lot more to them than just simply remaking it.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get too in-depth, but just some honorable mentions. Gunman Clive is a fantastic $2 game on 3DS, and the sequel's out as well. PC as well, guys, if that's all you got.
I think you can play it on Wii U as well now.
I don't know about that, but I believe you if you say it.
I think there's a double pack that you can get for the Wii U.
Oh, that's cool. I was obsessed with this game. I played through it probably 5 times with all the different characters, and it's really fun. It's really fun once you beat it, playing it through as the duck, which you can't attack. All you can do is dodge.
Oh.
So it's interesting. It kind of makes the game completely different. I wanted to mention Steel Diver Sub Wars. It was basically free to play, but if you paid, I think it was like $10 or $20, you got all the subs and everything. I don't know what to say. It's like a third person versus shooter, but with slow ass subs. So they move. I mean, they're really slow. It's all about like hiding and finding the right angle to take a sub down and recognizing what each sub is and what kind of armor it has, and if you even feel like you can take it out. And and it's 3-on-3, which is cool. And I just thought it was a really good online versus 3DS game that you can play free to play. You don't have to pay any money. You can jump right in and start playing with everybody.
I think Nintendo's done a good job with free to play so far.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And then the last thing I just wanted to mention 3DS-wise is probably the game I've played the most of is Pokemon Y. I've got over 3,000 or almost 3,000 hours on that game. That's not even including what I've put into Pokemon Alpha and Omega and all the other various Pokemon games that have come out in the last 4 years. So I would guess I've probably got close to 5,000 hours in the last 4 years just on Pokemon games.
Nice.
If I had to guess. But I just wanted to bring that up. Oh, and I also wanted to mention, as I was putting this segment together, I saw that there was a Pilot Wings game for the 3DS, and I totally forgot about it. Pilot Wings Resort. I completely forgot about that game, Adam.
Okay.
And I just wanted to bring. I was looking at my play log, and I'm like, Pilot Wings, what? and then it clicked in my head. I remembered. Yeah, it was almost launch, right?
It was a launch time.
Okay, it was launch. I got you.
With the other Steel Diver.
Cool. So that's all I wanted to talk about. There's been tons of other games, but I wanted to keep this list tight. We'll be bringing up all kinds of older games as we talk, in the next episodes. So let's go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we're going to break down the last Nintendo Direct that happened. It was about What'd you say it was on the 3rd?
It's almost a month ago.
Yeah, almost a month ago, but there was so much stuff in there, we definitely want to bring up a few things. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. Like I said previously, we're going to get into the Nintendo Direct that happened about a month ago. I will admit that I haven't watched it since about a month ago, so Adam's going to go ahead and take the reins on this one.
All right, so I just watched it again, and I'm covering pretty much what was covered in the North American Direct, so anything that I'm missing. I wanted to go back through and watch the European and Japanese one, but I didn't, so we're just covering North America.
Okay.
The first thing that they covered was Star Fox. They showed new gameplay. They showed a new area. They talked about Star Fox Guard, which
looks awesome.
I've actually admitted online that I might be more excited to play that than the regular Star Fox.
I'm not going to go that far, but I'm pretty jacked to play both of them. They both look
I'm
awesome.
excited about both. They talked about, I mean, they mentioned the release date, which I think we already knew, which is April 22nd.
There are also a lot of
and they did go into depth on what the Star Fox amiibo does, which is unlocks the Super Nintendo R-Wing.
Oh yeah, I saw that, which looks really cool.
And then yeah, of course, re-announced Guard as a Star Fox title, and that it comes with the physical copy of the game.
Yeah.
So buy them digitally bundled as well. And so I guess we can just talk about briefly our impressions of Star Fox. I'm frankly pretty excited about it. I did not like really any Star Fox game since 64 except for the multiplayer on the DS game.
Yeah, the dogfights in the DS game were fun. It took a little while to get used to that stylus control, but once you did, it felt pretty good. But the main story, I don't know, I didn't like how it was kind of like a Command and Conquer. You know, you had a weird, like, overmap, you're controlling the ships.
Yeah, and we talked about this in our podcast we did a long time ago about Nintendo recycling ideas and never really throwing away ideas. That was actually going to be in Star Fox 2, but that game was never made, so they implemented it in Star Fox Command.
Yeah, all you can play of Star Fox 2 is like the first level or whatever on a ROM. So, unfortunately, yeah, I was waiting for Star Fox 2. I love the first Star Fox. It was one of my first and favorite Super Nintendo games. I played a ton of that game.
And this is looking to be pretty much everything and more of the single-player campaign for that game. A lot of varying paths, a lot of honing your skills. It kind of is like an arcade game.
Yeah.
Where it's built on replayability. It's built on really, as you become better at it, you can explore new areas and unlock new endings and stuff like that.
I don't know about new endings, but that's definitely how the original Star Fox was. There was multiple points where you could take one of three paths, which was really, and there was secret tunnels, and for instance in the first level you had to know to stay all the way to the right of the screen on that one part, and there was a bomb hiding behind that wall, like at the midpoint of the first level. There was all kinds of stuff like that in the first Star Fox game So I'm hoping they're going to return to that in this new one because that's the formula I like. I like picking your path and going. What I don't like is, like I said, where it's like an RTS and I'm moving guys around by drawing paths with a stylus. I did not like that at all.
I think this game is really taking what worked in like Star Fox 64 and the original Star Fox and perfecting it, basically.
Yeah, I hope so. That's what it seems like.
I'm glad they're not deviating from it, making it something brand new. They're just making a modern version, like basically a modern version of those two games.
Right.
And that's good. The next game they talked about, they talked about briefly a Splatoon update, which is mostly just like weapons packs, not really any weapons or anything like that, no new levels. Not really all that interesting to me.
Yeah, the weapons are I like that it wasn't, like you said, it's not really new weapons. They were shuffling some combos up.
Yeah.
So that's interesting just to shake it up because I don't know if you've noticed when you're playing Splatoon, it's basically like people are basically using the same stuff.
Few weapon sets, yeah.
While we're talking about Splatoon, what do you run? Just out of curiosity.
I run the roller with the Kraken.
Hey, me too.
I feel like it's cheap, honestly.
I don't.
I don't know, maybe it isn't, but I'm really good at that gameplay, much more so than any of the other weapons. I also like the paintbrush. I like that like close range, really quick to cover a lot of paint.
Yep.
What's nice about Splatoon is that you can choose to not really play it as a combat game.
Right.
I mostly avoid combat. Go into an area, fill it up. If I come in contact with someone, I either throw the Kraken or I back out, go somewhere else where there isn't anybody.
I do fight, but I prefer to paint. I try to paint until I encounter somebody, and then I fight them. But I only use the Kraken as a last resort. I usually use the Kraken to escape. Yeah, exactly.
It's a good way to use it.
Run up a wall real quick or something like that. But anyway, I was just curious what you run. It's funny we run the same thing in that game.
Yeah, well, we'd make a really awesome team of two rollers, I guess. So it's nice to see that they're still supporting the game, fine-tuning some of the stats on it.
Yep.
The way a fighter or any well-managed shooter works. So that's good to see that they're still messing with it. The next thing they talked about was Mario and Sonic at the Olympics.
Yep.
Have you played any of those? Because I have
not a single one. They all look fun, but
I feel like if I played them, I would have a good time. But for whatever reason, I haven't even touched it. But I have to admit, given that it's in Brazil, I'm kind of upset that Sega hasn't had Samba de Amigo Monkey in it.
It's so funny. I just pulled that game out the other day when I was looking at my old games. I was like, I definitely tried it, but I don't know how much I played
Are you
of
talking
it.
about the Wii one?
Yeah, the Wii one.
That goes down as my biggest disappointment in a video game ever, pretty much. Why?
Yeah, why?
Because the controls don't work well enough once you get past like a medium difficulty.
Okay.
If they would have waited a little bit longer, it came out just before
Plus.
Wii Motion Plus was implemented. I feel if it had Wii Motion Plus, or if it had standard classic controller support, that it would make the game playable and enjoyable. But once I started getting into the hard songs, it wouldn't respond well enough to keep up with the beat of the music and how many beats I had to keep using.
I guess I didn't get that deep enough into it to even notice that there was problems with the controls. Can I use my Donkey Kong bongos on that game?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe if you set up like a series of like 3 or 6 bongos, you could do that.
I've got 2.
You're almost there. So I mean, it looks fun. I'm sure it will be fun, but I haven't played it, so I don't know much about it. The next thing they talked about was the Mario Maker update, which added the skewers instead of the thwomps. Added the keys,
which is awesome.
The
keys
coins, which are also related to the keys.
Yep.
And it added Super Expert Mode, which I probably will never beat.
I haven't even tried it, but
you unlock special costumes through Super Expert. I think, and also Expert, but I can't even beat Expert mode.
Oh, really?
I'm that terrible at the game. I'm good at making levels. I'm not so good at beating other people's levels.
Yeah, the expert mode is it's tough and frustrating. I've probably gone through expert 3 or 4 times, but I've probably also failed 2 or 3 times. So
I will have to say, as a tip, I've pretty much gotten to the point where I get into a level and I will just immediately make a decision on whether or not I'll try it.
okay.
If it immediately seems like it's something that's just trying too hard to kill me, I won't even try it.
Yeah, that's what's nice about the skip function. That's what I was gonna say. If it looks too crazy, just skip it. I mean, who cares? You know?
That's what's nice. I like a challenging level, but not. Some of them are just unfair.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Then they talked about something that I'm very excited for, which is the Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, a Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem game, which is that's its final name.
Right. Yeah, you had to explain that to me the other day when we were talking. I didn't realize they changed the name on it.
Yes, which it's not quite the exact same translation, or it's not a literal translation of what the Japanese name is, but I think it works well for kind of explaining what the game is and still feeling similar to the actual title in Japanese. So I like the name. I'm very excited for the game. I like Shin Megami games, as I previously mentioned, and I also like Fire Emblem games as well. So this one isn't really strategic, like doesn't have a strategy the way some Shin Megami Tensei games have. I think you even could get into this.
I do like how colorful it is. I will say that.
Yeah.
The screen, the video that I've seen, it's really bright, and it's kind of like looks like you're in like a battle stadium or something every time they're fighting.
Yes, it's got tons of style, and the battle system is a turn-based battle system that's heavily focused on taking advantage of enemies' weaknesses. I think you would really get into that, actually.
I'll try it.
Okay.
I'll definitely try
That's
it. So
all I'm asking.
Yep.
And that's coming out June 24th. It'll have Japanese with English subtitles. It takes place in Japan, so it's going to be very Japanese. And while I like English dubbing, only really when it's really well done.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with that.
I'm
I
completely
mostly.
fine with this.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I'm completely fine with this. If it means that we actually are getting it, and it means no English, then I'm happy to get it this way.
And I was gonna say I mostly watch anime, subtitled, not dubbed. So I'm down for either. Like you said, though, there are some really good things that have been translated and dubbed over here, and the voice acting is top notch. But most of the time, the voice acting's meh, and you'd rather have the Japanese version.
Yeah. Then they briefly went over Lost Reavers, the Namco Bandai free-to-play game, which I'm kind of describing as a Gauntlet-esque game.
That's the Treasure game, right?
Yes.
Yep. Treasure's making that. That's right.
And it's free-to-play, so I'm definitely going to try it out.
Yeah, I'm down too.
It could be a hidden gem of a game. But yeah, it looks and feels very similar to Gauntlet, and I loved playing through all the Gauntlet games that I've ever played. So
you liked Baldur's Gate a lot too, didn't you, back in the day?
I never played Baldur's Gate.
Oh, I thought I talked. Maybe that was our other friend who always brought up Baldur's Gate. I know my wife really likes it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Baldur's Gate is kind of like a newer Gauntlet. I've never played it either. So
yeah, I think so. But we'll play that together, right?
oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome. The next game, very controversial game, is Paper Mario Color Splash, which I am excited for.
Me
I was a little
too.
hesitant on the direction they're going, but after watching a analysis of the initial video they showed, I'm actually quite a bit more hopeful for what the game will be in the end.
I think it looks like high-res Sticker Star, which I liked a lot. So
And it looks beautiful.
yeah, I think it looks great. I can't wait to play it.
Excellent. I completely agree. Let's see here. They went over Pokken Tournament, which is out now.
Yeah, which I still haven't played.
I guess a little demo into the news segment. There's a demo that was released for the game.
Oh, great. Okay, so at least I'll get to play
try it
that.
out for free.
Yep.
They talked about Zelda Twilight Princess HD, which is out now. I played through the first dungeon. I've always thought the game looked weird, but I've always really liked the dungeons of that game, not so much the overworld. It's a good game. It's definitely worthy of a Zelda title.
And I'll tell you what I told you the first time we talked about it. I really liked it when I played it, when the Wii came out, but I'll probably never go back and play it again. I'm good.
That's okay.
It was a one and done for me.
I'll send you pictures of my Midna and Wolflink amiibo.
Yeah, I'm definitely jealous of that. I contemplated buying a $60 amiibo, which is basically how I look at that. And I just can't do it. I'm sure it'll be separated at some point. I'll be able to get it off of eBay or something, so I'm not too worried about it. I'll get that amiibo at some point.
They briefly went over My Nintendo and Miitomo, which we will talk about later, actually. But they did talk about that in the Nintendo Direct. They're really describing it as being an overall, the My Nintendo aspect of it, as being a better loyalty program than Club Nintendo. And while it seems pretty bare bones right now, I think that they have some pretty good plans for it as it goes on and as it kind of develops along with their new system and with this mobile push that they're doing.
Yeah, I agree with that. The only thing I'd say is I liked how Club Nintendo had physical things, and it doesn't seem like that's going to be coming back. It's just going to be all digital.
I mean, I don't think it's been completely ruled out. There was a Bill Trinan interview that was just a couple of comments, but it seemed like he wasn't completely ruling it out for them to have some physical rewards.
Okay, well, that's interesting then. I just like being able. I thought that was cool. I still have a lot of my Club Nintendo stuff, and if I don't have it out on display, I've got it, packed away somewhere nice. So
yeah,
it does kind of bum me out. But I mean, there's so much stuff being made for Nintendo now. I mean, you could buy.
Yeah, that they're not even doing.
Because it used to be when we first started playing together, you and I, you could barely buy any Nintendo stuff. You could buy the video games, but you couldn't buy like a ton of shirts or figurines or anything without importing some stuff from Japan, and even they didn't have that much stuff. Now there's so much just Nintendo stuff everywhere. If you look at Amazon, there's a billion shirts, toys, bags, anything you can think of, they have now. So I guess I'm not necessarily too heartbroken about not being able to get all what kind of stuff we got, like DS pouches and DS chargers.
They had good posters.
Yeah, I've got some of those. I've got one behind me. You can barely see it, but
yeah.
Yeah, they had cool posters. You get styluses and stuff like it, but you can buy a lot of that stuff now just from third parties and stuff,
Yeah.
So anyway.
They mentioned the Mini Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge game,
right?
Which is releasing more widely, it looks like, on April 28th. So there's still some time if you haven't already gotten it through purchasing an Amiibo at select stores.
Right.
There's still some time before that becomes more readily available to people who probably already have purchased all the Amiibos they're going to. Which
is you and I, pretty much.
Yes.
At this moment, until they come out with more.
Exactly.
But you wanted to mention, Adam actually gave me a code for that game. I've been playing it all week. It's all over my channel right now, at Bradley Guys on YouTube. And you were thinking about maybe handing a few codes out?
I was able to procure quite a few codes. I have probably still at least 2 of each. 2 3DS, 2 Wii U codes that I could give away. So if you wanted to contact either of us on Twitter, I'm iDrawRobots on Twitter.
Yeah, and I'm at Bradley Guys, which I think I mentioned 3 times already. So.
Yeah, and
but hit Adam up because he's got the codes.
Yes, I have the codes, so it's easy. iDrawRobots. Find me, send me a message, and I'll DM you with a code.
Yeah, first come, first serve.
Pretty much, yeah. Just let me know which version you want, and I will gladly give you a code for that.
Cool.
They talked about the Amiibo Series 4 for Animal Crossing cards. Those, along with standalone Isabelle and a summer version of Isabelle, are all being released on June 10th. So they kind of went over that briefly.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry, when you say stuff, sometimes I don't remember it right away. I was thinking in my head, I'm like, when are they? And then I see the amiibo now. I'm the Isabelle amiibo. They announced on this Nintendo Direct SNES games for Virtual Console only for new 3DSs. Right.
I have not purchased any of those yet.
No, neither have I. I already have them all in various forms. So
I mean, it's great that Earthbound is becoming more available to the market. I purchased it on the Wii U. That's the first time I ever played it, and I played through and beat that game. I almost wanted to put that as one of my games I wanted to talk about in the first segment, just because it did have a big impact on my playing, but it's also a very old game, so I didn't decide to mention it.
Yeah, and I think the reason it's new 3DS is because it's got that pixel perfect mode now.
I just to make sure that it ran exactly the way it should, they needed that extra power from the new 3DS.
And it's cool. You basically have a portable Super Nintendo now if you want, so that's pretty cool.
You can play a lot of different games on the 3DS now.
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty cool. I mean, you could buy a new 3DS, not buy any 3DS games, and still have thousands of hours of gameplay on there, just picking up all the old games that they have available at this point.
Yeah, of course. They mentioned a game that's been out in Japan for a while as Solity Horse, which is Pocket Card Jockey in the U.S.
Oh, right. And that's from the same people that make Pokemon, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I thought so.
A solitaire game that also it has you racing horses. Apparently has a lot of depth to it, has horse breeding in it. I plan on getting it. I'm not exactly sure how much I will put into it, but I might surprise myself and be really sucked in.
Yeah, it looks interesting to me just from the art. The horses and the jockeys are...
Nice.
It's like super cutesy, so it's kind of cool.
That I think is coming out in May. They went over briefly Azure Striker Gunvolt 2.
Cool.
I'm sure you're excited for that one.
I still haven't finished the first one, but I'm right there. I'm like right at the end of it. So yeah, I'll definitely pick it up. I enjoyed it. I'm more excited for Mighty Number 9 if we're talking about shooter platformers on the Wii U. But
both waiting for that to come out still.
Yep, can't wait. That's the one I'm very... it's the same guy too, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I thought so. I'm sorry, I'm like blanking on his name at the moment, but it's the Mega Man guy.
Yes. And then they talked about some Fire Emblem Revelations, the third storyline coming out, which is available now. They talked about some DLC on the Nintendo Direct. Do you know if your wife's picked up any of the DLC missions or anything?
Not yet. We're still making our way through the first two, and then we'll get the rest of the stuff.
Awesome. They talked about Hyrule Warriors Legends for the 3DS, which is now available. There's going to be a brand new Season Pass. So they're releasing even more characters for the game. The first one was announced, which is Marin from Link's Awakening.
Okay.
She's gonna be the first. She's the first new character that has been announced since like Linkle, I guess.
Right. That's a great game, Link's Awakening. Just
yes,
as an
it is.
aside. And I haven't played. I own Warriors for Wii U. I have not played. My wife played a ton of it. I've actually bought it for her, but I do plan on jumping into it at some point. It's on my backlog.
Fair enough. It's a pretty good game. It's I hear the 3DS game suffers from some frames per second issues if you're not playing it on a new 3DS.
That doesn't surprise me.
But for that kind of game with as many enemies that are on screen and as much action is going on, I guess it's kind of to be expected.
Yeah.
But maybe you throw the 3D off, maybe you play it in 2D and it helps.
Maybe you realize you're playing Dynasty Warriors,
Yeah.
Those games do chug at times on all systems, I've noticed. So.
Yeah. What else we got here? We got Disney Art Academy. If you really like Disney, I'm sure that's fantastic. I'm not so interested in that.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. I didn't even get Pokemon Art Academy, so I'm definitely not getting Disney.
Pokemon too. Bravely Default, or Bravely Second End Layer. They went over a couple of the jobs for the game. The demo is out for that right now. They were talking about the wizard isn't necessarily just focused on magic spells, but modifying the existing magic spells in the game.
Oh, cool.
So they can like take the Fire spell, and modify it with additional. They're basically just modifiers like a hammer fire or like spike fire or something like that to like change up the way anybody else can use the spells by adding additional stuff to it, which it seems interesting.
It's kind of like Crystal Chronicles, how we would all mix our mat. You know, you had the targeting ring, and we'd all mix our targeting rings together, and it would make a new spell. It's kind of
almost like that.
Did you play the first Bravely?
I played the demo.
I haven't even played the demo, so I was just curious. You're the RPG guy, so.
I do really like the battle system, and I would love to play through that game, but that is one of those games that I have purchased and not touched at all.
Okay.
Along with many other games. I'll go into that sometime. The other job that they mentioned was the Catmancer, which is basically like a beast trainer. It trains the cats to the moves that your enemies are making, the beasts in the game. And then you were basically rewarding the cats with treats to perform the attacks of the enemies that you're stealing the attacks from the enemies, basically.
And they remember it once
yes.
they. So it's like a Smeargle in Pokemon. They're sketching every move.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I think that is going to be a pretty awesome job for that game. Yeah, so that demo is available now if you want to try that game out. And it's a separate story from the actual game itself that takes place before the full game and has stuff that carries over to that when you start it.
Cool.
They showed off some Dragon Quest VII video. I'm just happy that Dragon Quest VII and Dragon Quest VIII are actually coming out for the 3DS.
Right.
Plan on picking both of those up as well.
That's good. You can talk about those when they come out because I won't play either of them.
Yes.
So
I played 7 quite a bit on the PlayStation, and I never got through it. I got to a point that at the time I guess I was too confused, and so I didn't beat it. I'd like to go back through it with a better realized game. They talked about Monster Hunter X or Monster Hunter Generations.
Generations, yep.
Which we're really excited for. Basically like Monster Hunter, but more about the action.
Yeah, it's basically Monster Hunter 4, but the thing about Monster Hunter 4 is they added a few over-the-top things, specifically with the 2 new weapons they added. And now with Generations, all the weapons are going to be over the top. I think you're going to be able to do jump attacks with every weapon. You're going to be doing like crazy flips over the monsters. I'm excited because they're adding a lot of new stuff into it, but I don't know how much it's going to feel like Monster Hunter once we get. Because the thing about Monster Hunter is it's always been stiff, tankish controls almost. Yeah. And now we're going to be flying around, jumping everywhere, climbing up. I mean, I don't know how much it's going to feel like Monster, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's time to shake it up,
Yeah. You'll definitely let us know what it's like, though.
Yeah, I'll be playing the hell out of it. I'll put at least 100, 200 hours into it, if not more, so.
And then they kind of broke down the very end into 2 things. I still have 3 things here. They mentioned they had a whole segment devoted to kind of reiterating Metroid Prime Federation Force and why we shouldn't discount it so quickly. I, for one, am very excited for the game. It's certainly designed more towards a younger audience than maybe me.
Okay.
It's a squad-based or a team-based first-person shooter, but more objective-based.
Right.
I've watched as many videos as I could on it. Of some different missions. I watched the Nintendo Treehouse play it last E3.
I watched that as well, some of it.
And everything I can tell, they looked like they were having fun playing it. Anytime I've watched gameplay of it, it looked pretty solid. I'm not so keen on the art style.
Yeah, it's okay.
but the music is good. The mission structure I think is pretty good, and it's a little short, but it's built for mobile play, so
Right.
that's understandable. I think that they're doing a good job of trying to accomplish a specific goal with Metroid. It's unfortunate that it's so off-putting for the Metroid fan base.
So here's how all right, so first off, I liked Prime Hunters, I should say. So I like portable Prime games. That's cool. And I will play this one. I just wish there was something like Other M coming out as well. That would be my only gripe. I would like more main story, 2D or third-person view Metroid games. That's all.
I think that Nintendo probably has something that they're working on that they can't talk about right now.
I hope so. Let's get Metroid Dread already. I mean, how
Yeah.
that thing's got to be floating around somewhere at this point.
Yes, it does.
But that's what I want. I would like what they're bringing.
Understandable.
I'd like both. You know, why can't we have both? That's my point. I'm not necessarily down on the new game. I think they didn't have to actually call it Metroid, but it's cool that they're still trying to keep it going with some Metroid stuff. But can we get something in the main series too? Is all I'm asking for.
Yes, and a lot of people are asking for it, and I think Nintendo realized. I think they know that.
I hope so.
They showed off some Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix. I'm really a big fan of Rhythm Heaven games.
Me too.
I never imported the Game Boy Advance game, so it'd be nice to play some of those that I missed out on.
Yep, me too.
And it's got some new games in it too, and I can't ask for anything more than more Rhythm Heaven.
Yeah, I agree. I hope it's as good as the Wii one because that was a great game.
Yeah, and it's got a little bit from all the previous games.
And the 3DS one was good too. The DS one, yeah, it was good too. But that Wii one was great, man. I just really like the art and all the games. I really like. I know it's one of the first ones, but I like the golf game where you're sitting on an island. I don't know. It's cool because the monkey throws the ball and you have to catch it in the air with the golf. I just thought that was really cool. It's really fun.
I like that level a lot too.
Yep. So anyway.
The last thing they mentioned, which I think we're both pretty excited about, is Kirby Planet Robo.
Yeah, definitely.
In the Direct, they talked about, they showed off a new power, which is Dr. Kirby.
Yeah, I saw that.
They show off the new mech that you can get into, and you can still copy powers while you're in this mech.
Yeah, it's kind of like the mechs you ride around in Mega Man X, the first one.
Yeah,
he's sitting in the top of it. It's very Mega Man-y looking to me.
And it's kind of like a slower gameplay. I think it's a nice mix-up. Kind of like it's similar idea to the Hyper Kirby from the game you're playing through right now.
Yeah, I'm halfway through it. All I can say is bring on the Kirby, man. I don't really care what it is. Just keep putting out Kirby. I like all of them.
Now they in the Direct they showed off a cooperative mode for the game where you're playing with humans against waves of bosses. There's leveling up in that. There's kind of classes that you can play as, and that looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. So it's like a boss rush mode.
Yes.
In Castlevania, the second Castlevania for DS, it had a co-op boss rush mode, and it was really, really fun. I'm excited that it's going to be in a different game, because I've never seen it again.
Yeah. Now, what they did not show in the Direct, but I do want to mention, is that there is another mode for Kirby called, where is that? Oh gosh, it's called, I think, 3D Rumble, I believe is what it's called. And it's seemingly based on an idea they had for a GameCube game, where it's a 3D environment. And so it has full 3D movement, unlike the main game for this Kirby entry. And this game seems to be also kind of clear the waves of enemies. But it's almost done in a puzzly way. So you have to kind of figure out which enemies to kill and how to suck up certain enemies to clear out other ones that are at a distance. And I think it's really interesting because there hasn't really been a game where you controlled Kirby in a 3D space other than Air Ride, which was more of a racing game.
Which I never even played, so...
counts. It wasn't really combat intensive. It was more about running around a city and collecting power-ups, like in Smash Run. So it wasn't about like attacking enemies per se. And so it's really interesting to see Kirby in a 3D setting, and it almost makes me wish that there was a real 3D Kirby game.
I'm sure there will be at some. It's kind of weird that they haven't made one up until this point, but I really love 2D Kirby, so just keep putting those out. I'll be happy.
Yes, we both can agree on that. And then there's new Kirby amiibos as well.
Yeah,
Amiibo,
which
sorry,
look cool.
It's amiibo.
Oh, I thought it was going to be multiples.
No, the plural for amiibo is amiibo.
But I did. So there is going to be multiple amiibo.
Yes, there's
okay.
4 of them. The 4 characters basically from Return to Dreamland.
So it's not amiibi, or...
No, it's not amiibi. That would be good though too. Yeah, it is Kirby 3D Rumble. So that's pretty much what happened in the Direct. I think we're good on covering all that.
Great, and thanks for going over all that stuff, Adam. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to jump into a segment that's going to kind of sound like this segment, but it's going to be more up-to-date news. So we'll be right back.
Back, and we're going to cover some recent news and some releases for today in the eShop. And a lot of the stuff you haven't really heard, Brad, because you don't really keep up on current events with video game stuff.
I should probably mention, I do see stuff on Twitter, but that's it, man. I keep myself in the dark about movies and games and comic book, pretty much everything I like, because I don't want to fall subject to the hype machine anymore, because I went through that a lot when we did our old show.
Okay.
And I want to stay excited about things, and 2, because the internet is so negative that I get depressed. So I try to avoid all that crap. But I like hearing your spin on things too, so I'm excited that we're doing this again.
Well, I have a couple of things that I hope you're excited about. So
okay.
We'll see. The first thing I wanted to mention is that on April 3rd, on a show in Japan called Pokemon House, there's going to be the first actual footage from Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Awesome.
The last time they broke footage for Oris, it was really a brief video that showed I think the legendaries from the games.
Okay.
But that was also a remake, so the hope is that they're maybe going to show something more substantial this time, because it's a full new game.
Yeah, we haven't really seen anything, just some concept images and
pictures,
stuff.
yeah.
So, I mean, anything is welcome as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to see that. And I'm sure you are too. So keep your eyes open on April 3rd.
I will keep my peepers peeled. Go ahead.
Excellent. The next thing I wanted to talk about, also related to Pokemon, is the beta for Pokemon Go has been released, and some people are actually messing around with it and playing the beta for Pokemon Go. I have some information here about it. I don't know how indicative of the actual game this is going to be, but I don't think it's quite what some people were hoping it was going to be.
Okay.
But I think it works well for what Nintendo is trying to do, and I know they're not like directly involved with this. This is more just Pokemon Company, but it still kind of fits in line with what Nintendo's been doing as well. So there's a character customization. You can be a male or female. You can change the head, the hair, the eyes, the hat they're wearing, the shirt, the pants, the shoes, and the bag style.
Okay, so like X and Y.
Yeah. And it seems like there's not a ton of options right now, but that's, given that it's on a mobile device, I feel like that's something that they can really add a lot to.
Yeah, they will. They'll push that DLC out.
Colors to use and stuff. I think that'll be an area where you can really go in and change that often and want to.
Yeah, definitely. That's what it sounds. I mean, that's probably going to be a big part of the game if you think about it. It'll be customized. You'll be unlocking stuff, customizing your guys constantly. I mean, that's pretty much how all games are these days, usually.
Yeah, that's true. So basically, what it seems like you do is you make a character, you make their name or what their nickname will be, or what you're going to be called by other trainers, and then you get thrown into basically the real world. There's like a Google-esque Maps setup, and you're in the real world, and you see a map of where you're at. It'll show you which Pokemon are going to be near you in your physical location that you can catch. It seems that there's going to be like almost a regional Pokemon. So not everybody in the U.S. throughout the U.S. is going to be able to catch the same Pokemon based on their location.
Oh, cool. That's pretty interesting.
I guess the like more water Pokemon are going to be near water sources.
Oh, wow.
Oceans,
That's cool.
lakes and stuff. I think this is really interesting, and I like the fact that it's almost got like regions and stuff, like the way real Pokemon would be if they were real.
Yeah.
So I really like that. But there doesn't seem to be any direct battling. It seems that you go in to find Pokemon, you throw Pokeballs at them. You can spend your money, it seems, on getting better balls and stuff like that.
Okay.
And you basically find Pokemon, you catch them, and you yourself are the one that levels up, not the Pokemon.
It's interesting.
You apply the Pokemon to gyms that you can join, and then those gyms will compete against each other. And it also seems that you can, do you remember the battling that happened in Street Fighter for the 3DS?
Yes.
There's kind of like a battle system, I think, for that, for when you actually come in contact with other people who have the game.
So you put a team together and they collide. It's how, I feel like there was something like that in Fire Emblem as well.
I think so.
Yeah, so it's basically each of your characters will have whatever stats they have. They'll be strong against what they're strong against and weak against what they're weak against. You just got to hope that you put together a good order. And there's a little bit of luck involved, honestly. You don't know.
Yes.
You don't know who's going to go up against what, so you got to... I don't know, that Street Fighter game was pretty fun, so I'm interested. I'll try this out. I guess I'll play it on my Kindle, because I have a Windows phone, so I could be able to use it on that, and my iPad's the old one, so...
Okay. So it may not be what people might have been expecting from a real Pokemon game, but I think it does a couple of things that they want to have happen. One is to get people to go outside and actually interact with the real world. So that's something that it's accomplishing. It's also not taking people too far away from the real world and being on their phones constantly. It's something that you can kind of go into, catch a Pokemon, and then set everything so that it's kind of automatically interacting with everyone else. So that you're not constantly looking at your phone or like going up to someone and battling them with your phones or anything like that. And I kind of like that. It's not a super heavily focused thing. It's more of something that you set up and then like let run itself.
If they figure out a way to earn things in the main game through all these little side games, I'll be more on board with them. At the moment, they're all kind of just little spin-offs to me, and it's something I'll play for like an hour and then get bored with. So we'll see.
Yeah. What's some other stuff? I recently saw that In Space was shut down.
I have no idea what's In Space.
In Space, I'm gonna have to look this up because I have a specific list of stuff that they have worked on. I know they did the Call of Duty games for the DS. They worked on Geist for the GameCube, which was not like a super
that's a crazy
fantastic game. It had some really interesting aspects to it, but I mean, I'm not saying it's like the best thing ever. But they worked on a lot of the DS and Nintendo Skylanders games.
N Space, the letter N.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
They worked on Battalion Wars for the Wii and GameCube.
That game was pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a group of stuff that they've worked on, but they have a pretty decent category. They've worked on a little bit of everything. They were kind of mostly involved with Activision.
Yeah, it sounds like it from the games you were mentioning.
But that happened recently. I wanted to mention that at GameStop, apparently, Codename Steam is only $10.
I haven't played that yet.
I haven't played it either beyond the demo, but it was really fun in the demo, and I do want to get into playing that at some point.
Oh, they made Ultimate Alliance 2 as well, which is a fun game. Marvel
I see
Ultimate
that.
Alliance.
Yeah, it's a good game. And then so here we go. Some of the other news that I wanted to mention is there's a game being developed by Arc Systems that is called Chase Unsolved Cases Investigations Division, which is a really long and ridiculous name, but it's being worked on by several people from Sing that worked on Hotel Dusk and Trace Memory.
Right.
And it actually, the main character looks a lot like Kyle Hyde from Hotel Dusk, and visually it's very similar. So I feel like this is basically them getting back into making a Hotel Dusk game or that type of visual novel. So I'm very excited about that.
I played a little bit of Hotel Dusk. I do know what the main character looks like, but I didn't get too much into it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Arc Systems, they're the guys that make all they make Blaze Blue and
yeah.
And what's the other one? I can't remember. Their main Guilty Gear. They make all those games, right?
Yeah, which I know you're a big fan of.
I am.
Something that I'm also excited about is Zero Time Dilemma, the third game in the 999 and the 999 series.
Yeah, what was that other game called? I can't remember it right now. You love 999. I remember that.
I'm having a blank. Zero Escape, something like that. I can't believe I'm zoning out so bad on that.
I know what you're talking about. I'm guessing
Yeah.
most people listening to this probably do as well.
Yes. Virtue's Last Reward is what it's called.
Yep, that's right. Yep, you're all over it.
So in this third game, it's going to be more about. It's going to have more cutscenes in it, and a little bit less reading, I guess, to make it more approachable to a general audience. But something else that's interesting that it's doing is it's going to randomize the puzzles that you're solving in it. So there's not a specific stage to all of the puzzles that you're doing. The director said this is to help with spoilers. But I also think it'll help give the replay value, added replay value to the game as well. So I'm interested to see how exactly that works with that game.
So what you're saying? So like Professor Layton. There's set puzzles everywhere you go into the different rooms. There's all the different puzzles. In this game, you can go into the same room and it'll be a different puzzle every time. Is that?
Well, I think it'll kind of work. Basically, the way the other games work is you go through doors. That door has a room, and the room is a puzzle.
Okay. So that'll just be randomly. It's not that the puzzles are going to be randomly generated. There's going to be a ton of puzzles. You never know which one's going to be in which room. Okay.
And so they'll probably build something within the story that explains how you're going into different rooms and they're changing.
Right.
You're usually locked into some kind of large facility that has all these puzzles set up for you, and maybe there's some way that they're like actually moving the rooms in this setup.
Okay.
But it's kind of like Saw.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
It's basically like Saw 2 more specifically, where there's like a group of people. They all kind of have a connection with each other, and they're all trying to get through this series of puzzles in order to survive together. And lots of people die, and there's usually multiple ways to beat it to like fully get the real story of what's going on.
That sounds interesting.
I'm a big fan of them, and I'm really excited for this. This one is specifically being made for the Western audience because even though it's a Japanese developer and director, it's had a lot more popularity in Europe and America.
Okay. That's cool that they're trying to make something for us.
It doesn't always happen that way.
Yeah, that's the truth.
All right, so let me see if I'm missing anything else. The releases for today. So for eShop, there is a game called Chronicles of Teddy, Harmony of Exodus. I don't really know anything about that. Something I do know about, which is very interesting to me, is a game called Lovely Planet, also for the Wii U. This is a first-person shooter, but it's more like shoots specific targets in a 3D environment to finish that level. It's really cutesy and like very colorful and cel shaded, and you're basically like you have like a heart gun and you're just shooting these targets to complete each level. So not your typical shooter.
No, I've never even heard of it, so it sounds interesting.
I would check it out. There was a demo, I think sometime last year for it, so I don't know if there's a way to play it without buying it now. But if there is, I would recommend you trying it out, because I think you would like it.
Okay, cool.
Also for the Wii U, a game called Pixel Cross, which is, from what I've heard, similar to the P-Cross series.
Okay, which we both like.
Yes. And also a game called Six Head Video Poker, which is a video poker game, and a game called Now I Know My ABCs, which I'm sure is fantastic.
It might be good for the youngins.
Perhaps. For Virtual Console on the Wii U, Mario Super Sluggers was released.
That's a fun game.
My younger brother was really into, and I stopped playing it because he always beat me.
Is that the Wii one or the GameCube one?
I think it's the Wii one.
I like the GameCube one the best, but the Wii
I like
one's
that one better as
the
well.
Wii one's fun. I just feel like the GameCube one felt more like actual baseball. So
Yes, I agree. And I also could stand a better chance against my brother in that one. And for there's the Pokken tournament demo.
Right, which you mentioned earlier.
And then for the 3DS, seemingly only one thing was released, which is a game called Justice Chronicles. I have no idea.
Me either. I have no clue.
So that's all I got for news today.
All right, cool. So let's go ahead and close up the show, man.
All right. We have the Mini Mario Amiibo Challenge codes to give away.
Yep.
So be sure to hit me up at iDrawRobots on Twitter if you would like a copy of like a download code for that. That's really all that I've got going on.
It's going to be
I'll be making more Mario levels, so I don't know you can't search by user.
No, the best way to find Adam's levels is to watch one of my videos of me playing his levels, so you can get one of the code. All you need is one code, and then you can follow the person. So you put in the level code, it'll bring up that level, and then you can click the little heart icon and follow them.
And like he mentioned, I have a whole series of micro levels. They're all like one screen wide, and I put a lot of time into making levels that they try to be easy to beat if you take your time, but are also built around being able to beat very quickly if you can really hone your skills on that level.
And I'd also add that what's cool about him, he said single screen, so it doesn't scroll horizontally, but he will scroll it vertically on some levels, but it never scrolls horizontally. So that's what I really like about him. Like he said, it's all built into one screen, and they're great for speed running. So check those out. What's your name on? Well, like you said, they're not gonna be able to find you through that. So just go to my YouTube page. It's at Bradley Guys. I've got tons of his levels up. Pick any one and then throw him a follow.
My name is Adam for my me, and my network ID is iDrawRobots also.
So yeah, and I guess you could maybe you could possibly find him through the Nintendo Network, maybe Miiverse specifically.
Miiverse, yeah.
You might be able to do it some way through that, but I think the best way is you just need to get one of the codes and go find him that way if you want to try out some of his cool Super Micro Brothers levels. And I have a ton of levels up as well, if you want to play mine. And it's at Bradley Guys on Twitter. Hit me up on Twitter if you want me to just get you a link for the code, or you just want to talk about the show. That's going to be it, right?
Sounds good.
And until next time, we will catch you later.